everyone, and thank you for joining us. This is our second shorts training session for 2026, and we have a lot to talk about, so I'm going to start right away. Our next training session is on the 25th of March at 2, and it's normally the last Wednesday of each month. Mariska, can you just please show the new schools where to find the notes? Okay. So the notes are always available in the chat the Tuesday before the Wednesday session. And we would love it if you go through your notes the day before the session just to have your questions ready. Today we will discuss, and I normally say briefly, but we've got a lot on our plate today, proven collection hacks and competition tips. I just want to make sure, can everybody hear? Because I'm on Andreas' laptop today and his speaker is better than mine. Are we all good? Mariska, is almal happy?
Yes, all good. Thank you.
Okay, so let's start with the proven collection hacks. Now this session for us is one of our best sessions to date. And we want to thank everyone who contributed to the content. We have 11 hacks and tips for you, and it was all provided by system users and the support team. And this is how we're going to build a strong data management community. So we did not only provide you with the hack, but we also provide you with the Jumping Fox software steps and features on how to implement these hacks. Liesel and Michelle, I think, or someone's microphone is on. Just check that your mic.
Valiant, sorry, you are muted now.
Sorry, my notes. I muted it with my notes.
Perfect.
Okay, sorry. Okay, hack number 1 was provided by Elsevier from Laerskool De Pre van Wyk and Susan from Laerskool Tabazimbi. And they say you don't always have to be the bad guy every time. So yes, we need to ask the parents to pay their school fees, but we can also thank them when they pay. And this encourages a continued positive behavior. So the Jumping Fox software features that you will use for your thank you SMS is your custom SMS, obviously, but you can also send an email, your to-do generator, and account categories. In your notes, you will see that we have provided you with an example of a thank you SMS, and that's thank you to Elsevier. I'm now going to ask Mariska to please open the knowledge base, the onboarding section, and show you where to find the manuals. And in the manuals, you'll find the different steps that you need to follow when you want to make use of the Jumping Fox software features. So the steps to create your custom SMS and to send the SMS is onboarding manual session 4. And then you can just open that and you will see on page 1 to 3. And always remember the support team can help you create your SMS. So as you can see there, a very nice manual with all the steps. Hack number 2. This hack was provided by Yolandi from Rustenburg High School and Marinda from Henopspark Primary School. They tested this process throughout 2025 working with Lelani, and I just want to mention both of these schools are of one of our, or part of our top 10 schools of 2025. So what they are doing is after they complete their workflow and send their to-dos, they download the skipped workflow report. So the goal is always to make sure that we don't overlook any accounts. So the Jumping Fox software feature you will use to identify the accounts that skipped workflow is the skipped workflow report. Again, you're going to use your custom SMS and email, the to-do generator, and account categories. So how do you identify these accounts and get them into an import-ready format for the system to create the to-dos for you? So as mentioned, you use your skipped workflow report. Now, there are basically 3 reasons why the system will skip an account for workflow. And the first reason is it's under the ignore section. When you move the account to the ignore section, won't receive workflow. Or on the account level, you selected the parent not to receive workflow, and then the most important one is the floor limits. So let's look at the floor limits as an example. Let's say your SMS floor limit is 3,000 and your account balance is 2,999 Rand. That account won't receive workflow, but it actually do qualifies for correspondence. So I'm going to ask Mariska again to open the system, and then we're going to show you step by step how to download the skipped workflow report, create an account category to send your custom correspondence, and alternatively the to-do generator. So we're going to reports, the collections, and then you'll see the skipped workflow report. If you open the report, you will see column D. No, first column F will show you the reason, sorry Mariska, why the account skipped the workflow. It's normally the floor limit, and column D will show you the closing balance. So with the closing balance and the reason the account skipped the workflow in mind, you can now select accounts and send them correspondence as they skipped workflow using account categories or the to-do generator. So let's first look at the account category, option 1. And we know that Monique from Centurion High School loves her account categories. So first you go to Manage and you go to Account Categories. It's very easy to create an account category. You now name the category. Let's say 9 February final request. And you put the accounts you got from the skipped workflow. You just copy and paste them into the account category section. Submit, and now you go to your tool section, SMS or emails, and you select the category, you select the specific template you want to use, the final request, and you send out the SMSs. That's very easy. Another hack for you with the account categories is you can create an account category for your debit order accounts, just to advise the parents that their debit orders has failed. So option 2 then is your to-do generator. So to access the to-do generator report, you again go to reports, to-do generator. There you go. And then you will see we added something new, empty or export template. So you can just click on the export template button and the system will download for you a template you can use for your to-do generator to-dos. Now you add the accounts you got from your skipped workflow, add them to column A on your to-do generator template report, and you add the balances from your skipped workflow to column E. And remember that to-do you're going to select will have a placeholder. So the placeholder will pull through the balance so that it will also be a personalized type of SMS you send out. So then you go to your workflow activities page, go to your to-do generator, and then you complete the fields. So the to-do type will be your final request SMS. Use annual balance no, because we have the balance in our report. Skip empty emails and mobiles no, because you always want to know which parent's contact details is not available on the system. Skip credit accounts yes, skip archived account yes, and now you select the empty or the template to do generator report you just created, import, then you go to your to-do page, and there will be your generated SMSs that you've just created now and send them out. And you can make sure that the accounts that you didn't want to skip workflow now did receive workflow. What is important to remember is if you send correspondence with account categories and the to-do generator, it doesn't impact your standard workflow, except for the section 41. So the public schools, please check on page 2 of your notes, the situation regarding the Section 41. Then on to hack number 3. This hack was provided also by Yolandi and Marinda, again tested throughout 2025, working with Lelani. So remember, they first sent out their workflow. Then they pull the skipped workflow report, send out to-dos. Then they wait 2 weeks, whereafter they pull the top outstanding capital report. Some of the schools think they are harassing parents when they ask for payment, but that's not the case. You must remind your parents that they owe money. So the Jumping Fox features you will use for follow-up correspondence is then your top outstanding capital report. Again, you're going to use a custom SMS and email. You can create the to-do with the to-do generator or send it out through the account categories. Mariska, can you then just please show us where to find the top outstanding capital report? It's just under the report section. This is also a very nice report because it shows you the outstanding balance of the accounts from the highest to the lowest value. There you go. And it also provides you with the last payment date. So it makes it easy to identify accounts you want to send out follow-up correspondence. We recommend that you pull in your financials at this stage just to update your whole system and the dashboard. And to send out the to-dos, just go back to hack number 2 and follow the steps we provided there. And if you're not sure, please book a session with the support team. They will assist you. Hack number 4. This one is from Monique, Centurion High School. So she sends a workflow SMSs followed by a custom email using account categories. And the account categories, for example, for parents in similar situations. So what she does then is she sends out a standard workflow. It's a personalized SMS or email because of the placeholders, the parent's account number, personal details, and balance are in the SMS or email. But then she creates that account category for parents in the similar situation. For example, arrangements. So she views her arrangements. There's parents who didn't pay as agreed. They will get SMS reminder 1, 2, or 3. But now she sees some of the parents outstanding or the arrear amount that they didn't pay as agreed. Some of them is a high outstanding amount. And for these parents, she then creates an account category and invites them to come to school and discuss the matter with her. So remember, your standard workflow will send out correspondence personalized to all the accounts that qualify. But your account categories is where you have more control over, and you select the parents you want to send out extra correspondence to. We always focus on workflow and the account categories or to-do generator for extras. Another nice hack for the exemptions for public schools is, let's say your parents have incomplete applications. Then you can create an account category for them and tell them, you can see that you're in workflow. And if you don't finalize your exemption application, you're going to stay in workflow. Create an account category for those specific parents' incomplete application. And you can at any time move these accounts to the ignore section if you want. Hack number 5. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Okay, hack number 5 was provided by Susan from Thabazimbi Laerskool. She sends custom emails using account categories after sending her statements. So this is basically a confirmation email. So you can decide if you want to send it to all your parents or just the parents with the highest outstanding value. And there in that email, you can state the terms and conditions the parent agreed to in the enrollment form. So that's just a nice extra reminder. On to hack number 6. So if you ever wanted proof, here is proof. And this is a very, very good case study. And I'm going to send it through to management because I think this is a fantastic idea. So I just want to first give a little bit of background. Yolandi is from Rustenburg High School. And in 2023, she was our debtor management fastest mover. And since we tracked system usage, she has been on our top 10 school list. So before joining Rustenburg High School, she worked at attorneys, and I think she was with Jonker Foster Attorneys for 10 years. So she has extensive pre-legal and legal knowledge on school fee collections. So at the end of 2025, Yolandi collected more than R1 million in 6 weeks, and she still completed her handovers and finalized the exemptions. So how did she do this? She just sent out a standard workflow, made use of the skipped workflow report with extra to-dos, and then she ran a weekly SMS payment campaign for 6 consecutive weeks. So that just shows you consistency works. If the parents can see that you're focusing on outstanding accounts, they will realize that you're monitoring payments and they will start paying. So well done to Yolandi there. It's a fantastic example, I think, for all of us. Then on to hack number 7. This was provided by Gerda and Ria from Bastion High School. They are our 2025 debtor management fastest movers. So they download the VCCB report to confirm parent details, but also to trace parents. So what happened to Gerda is the mother said she cannot finalize it or cannot get hold of the father. So Gerda couldn't complete her exemption application, but she knew she doesn't need the father's consent to pull a VCCB report. She did that, got the father's details, he brought in the outstanding information, and she could finalize the exemption application. So the VCCB report, very nice hack to confirm parent contact details and to trace a parent. Mariska, can you just show everyone where to download the VCCB report? So it's under the document section. If the name is in red, you're good to go. You've got the ID number. If the name is in grey, not good to go. You don't have the ID number, you can't pull the report. The steps to download some more information on the VCCB report is available in the onboarding manual, session 8, page 9. So I had a discussion with VCCB, and they said if we ask for information in bulk, they will charge less. So currently we charge R6 per report, but if we do it in bulk, we can charge R4 per ID number. So what does in bulk mean? It's more than 50 accounts at a time per school. So what we can do is we can provide you with the correct format. You can provide us with 50 ID numbers and the parents' current contact details, and then we provide it to VCCB, and they in bulk can provide us with a report with the latest information. So if you're interested, just let Lelani, Mariska and Abel know, and we can sort it out for you. If you think about it, it's R250 for 50 parents. Let's say it's 50 parents you cannot get hold of. I think it is money well spent. You can do it for even more parents once a quarter, just to make sure you update your parent information as you go. Then on to hack number 8. This was provided by Chantel from Grey College High School. Now she values a compliant payment plan in a specific process. Mariska, can you please show everyone just quickly where to upload the arrangement? So it's under the financial page. And then also when you create the arrangement, you can send the arrangement through to the parent. It's under the document section. So there's 2 documents. It's the arrangement itself, and then it's the attachment to the arrangement that shows the payment amount and the payment date. The compliance part here is in the AOD, you need to exclude certain clauses like the interest clause, but you can add clauses like, for example, the novation clause. We did speak about this already. And we all know it's better to have your arrangement in writing. If it's just a promise to pay, the parent can easily ignore the arrangement. It's also necessary that the parent understand you pay attention to the arrangements and that you're not ignoring it when they miss payment, because I'm sure that's not the case. Mariska, can you also just show again the knowledge base, the onboarding section part, the documentation for the AOD, how to load an arrangement, how to send that AOD for the parent for signature. It's available session 4, page 2, and session 4, page 3 for the AOD that you can send. And there's also a separate document for sending the arrangement to the parent. So you will see in the competition for March, we added the arrangements, but we ask you to upload only 5 arrangements, and we ask you to do it with the support team. We think it's necessary for you to see the value of the arrangement and the arrangement workflow. And we also know that there's schools that say, we don't do the arrangement thing, but let me tell you, if you don't do the arrangement, your attorney will, because they understand the time and the money it takes to get money from the parent or to get judgment and do a warrant of execution. So our advice will always be, do the arrangement, take the money. Hack number 9 is reports. So first we have the preferred step report. Mariska, if you can just show that one for us. So this comes from Nicole. She's from the Duitse school in Kaapstad, the German school. So she's using the preferred step report where the learner is in school currently, but there was a balance brought forward value, outstanding value, or where there's no formal arrangement with the parent. So she used this report to fast track or speed track an account to a higher step. Always recommend to do this with the support team. And remember, if there's an arrangement on the account, you first need to remove the arrangement before you can remove the account. The next report is the top outstanding account report. This was part of hack number 3. Mariska can just quickly show again. Elsabeth from De Pre van Wyk, she doesn't like it when her top outstanding accounts spiral out of control. She has a quick glance on this report. And then remember, on the dashboard, you can always send an SMS or email from the dashboard directly to your top outstanding parents. There you can see the SMSs and the emails. Mariska, then it's the SMS and email status report. This hack we got from Annetjie from Grey College Primary School. She loves to keep an eye on her parents and to see who's not getting their correspondence so that she can update the information. The VCCB report is also a good report to use in situations like these. Hack number 10, also one of my favorites, but I know there's schools that does not make use of the phone call to do, and I really think you miss out. So we got 3 hacks here from Susan, Thabazimbi Laerskool, again Nicole from the German school, and then Shania from Northcliffe High School. So Susan says, and Mariska will show you as I get through Susan's hack, just how nice the phone call to-dos work. So Susan says, following up on outstanding payments via phone adds significant value to the collection process. It is very important to stick to your scheduled follow-up dates with parents. If you commit to calling a specific time or date, make sure you do so. Very nice with the system, you won't forget. And parents need to see that the school manages its debtors book efficiently and treats outstanding payments with urgency. Nicole says, phone calls take time, especially if you have to explain where the outstanding fees come from and the payment option available to settle the debt. So you can even load a promise to pay here to follow up for your arrangement. She also says, while this process can be time-consuming, it ensures parents understand their obligations and increases the likelihood of payment. Then Shania says, let me just get her note, yes. She says, one technique that works well for us is locking in a specific payment date during the first engagement call and immediately confirming it in writing. So there you see, she makes use of a custom email or SMS. We don't accept vague commitments like soon or next week. We request a specific date and follow up consistently to that commitment. And what she says is, we also found that calling before sending reminder emails significantly increases engagement. as it's harder to ignore a direct conversation than a written notice. So true, you cannot collect without picking up the phone. Then the documentation, the manuals that can assist is onboarding manual session 6, page 3, on how to create your phone call to-dos. Then onboarding manual 3, page 14, is how to create an email reminder. Very nice feature. You can remind yourself, and then the system will provide you with the reminder email on a specific date, so you no sticky notes. And then the content and value of the phone call status report is available in manual session 6, page 3. Then our last hack, this is from 2 community members. First one, Abel. And he says this during his sessions. He says, please pay attention to your ignore accounts and the handover ignore accounts. Mariska, if you can show us just where to find the ignore account section. Schools forget they put accounts under the ignore section, especially the handover ignore account. So what happens is, let's say in 2025, you handed over the account, move the account to the handover ignore account status section, because you don't want the parent to receive communication for school fees if they just owe, for example, the matric dance fees. And then the learner comes back to school not paying school fees, don't receive workflow because the account is still under the ignore section. So I will ask, please pay specific attention to your ignore accounts and your handover ignore accounts. Then Nicole says, sticking to a regular schedule for invoicing, statement, and reminders makes it easier for parents to organize and plan their school payments. So I agree with Nicole. Just like we need a strategy to collect outstanding school fees, we should, with our strategy, get parents into the habit of payment. And then lastly, we have a very nice weekly routine. And this is from Lauren and Vanessa from Bryanston Primary School. So they say Mondays are generally not good for contacting parents. During school holidays, parents seldom answer their phones, but they're more likely to respond to emails. For them, the best collection days are Tuesdays and Wednesdays, after they send the pre-section 41 notice, and for private schools, that will be the breach letter. Parents make most contact. The Credit Bureau listing notice also generates a strong response. Then they send the section 41 letter, and for private schools, that will be the acceleration letter on the Friday. Then the parents worry over the weekend, and we hope then they make contact on a Monday. And they also make use of the system phone call features. The to-dos for follow-up calls are created after they send out their workflow correspondence. So they do it a bit different than Shania. And they make phone calls throughout the month. But I think whatever you do, you must test and see what works for you. And then lastly, I just have a few words on our competition. So most of our schools are going through to the next round, which we are very grateful for. But we see the schools are falling out due to the shorts, which is actually so sad, because the shorts are very important, and we're going to have a lot of information on the system this year. And I want you all to remember why there's a competition. At the end of the year, we want management and the SGB to say, it makes sense to take part in a competition. It makes sense to work with Jumping Fox and the support team and to complete the actions, because they can see it in their bottom line. There's more money in the bank account. And that's what we're after. We want them to see your success. Mariska, and then just lastly, if you can show the actions for March. So if you go to, I don't know if you have them open, yeah. So we will release them, and you can go and check on the 28th of February. Everything will be published on the knowledge base under the competition section. Again, the focus is on sending out your workflow. We're going to create one account category, and we're going to upload 5 arrangements. Again, the shorts, we just have a few questions on the focused training session, and then you have the Save the Month action. But it's very, very important to make use of the main system feature, and that is workflow. So if we again just go back to Yolandi and her campaign and the correspondence she sent out and the success she had to collect R1 million in 6 weeks is outstanding. We really ask that you complete your workflow actions. That is the most important. And that is everything I have for you. Next week or next month's session will be on System Acts. So now it was Collection Acts. Next month will be System Acts. So if you want to leave, you're more than welcome. Otherwise, Lelani, myself, Mariska and Abel will stay behind for a few minutes if you have any questions on the system or anything from your side. But thank you very much for joining. Mariska, you will let us know if there's any questions.
Okay, perfect. I'm quickly having a look at them. Okay, everyone says thank you, no questions so far.
Now, if they have System Acts they want to send through, they can send them because we're starting with our planning for the next session already. So if you have any System Acts up your sleeve, please send them through.
Okay, everyone says thank you. Yolandi says dankie vir 'n lekker share op ander Foxy se hacks. Nou kan ons nog slimmer word. Okay, so here's a question from Debbie. She asked, if a parent is not on a birth certificate, do you put them on the exemption application?
Well, how do we know the parent is a biological parent if they are not on the birth certificate? But what's the reason they say they're a biological parent? That's a difficult one because it's normally the birth certificate. Mm-hmm. But if they want to stand in as a biological parent and they agree to that, you can add them.
Okay,
sorry, Dalian. The birth certificate only shows the mom's details. So
okay.
The dad is nothing it's showing on the dad. And when the mom fills in the application form here at the school, they also don't put the details because he's either non-existent or you know most of the stories. So yeah. I'm not sure if he's not on that birth certificate, but they fill them in on the application form at the school. Do you still use that details or not?
Well, if the biological parent or the parent on the application form, then you can use that information. Okay. Especially when only the mom's information is on the birth certificate. I didn't even realize that. Ek sê ouma.
Sorry, then a question from Michelle. She asked, with the constant SMSs, can you escalate to the next SMS, or would it be better to do a custom one?
So I'm preparing a campaign for the school. So what we're going to do is we're going to send it through to all our users and let's say one member of the SGB to ask if you are interested in a campaign. We're going to run the campaign, and I think between the team we will decide to use the to do generator, or we can maybe use account categories. We will still decide, but we will come with SMSs and emails and we will help you run a campaign. So I don't think we can run the campaign with the workflow, because then you're going to eat your SMSs and your workflow steps. So it's best to run a campaign with either account categories, but I think that to do generator will also work well.
Yeah.
And I will discuss with you, Yolandi, as well, just to make sure how exactly did she do that.
Yeah. Then just something that Elsa B mentioned on Debbie's question. She said that we usually ask for an affidavit, and when last they saw the father, then we ask them to give info on what they last known. So that's just something also to take into consideration, maybe. Then Lauren from Bryanston, she just mentioned that she started using customized messages for bounced debit orders. And then she also mentioned that that worked quite well for her. And then a question from Natasha. She asked, do we know when the WhatsApp option will be finalized?
Yeah, Rian has been working. Remember we said the problem is the third party. It's still the third party. So I will ask Rian, we discussed it yesterday because Indria also is after the WhatsApps for his system. But I'll check in with Rian. We did verifications again yesterday with Twilio. I'm not sure what happened today, but I will let him give me an update and then I'll send it through. But yeah, he's battling with the third party and they are still kind of blocking us because of the number of WhatsApps we want to send out. They're looking for companies that send out large numbers of WhatsApps and they don't think that we're a good fit, basically. If you think Dis-Chem sends out WhatsApps and Vitality and I don't know, but Rian is doing his best and we're verifying once or twice a week. So let's see what he manages today and then I'll let you know. But it's definitely a priority for us on the Jumping Fox side and Jonker Foster. So Rian is getting it from both sides.
Then just something that Michelle mentioned. She said birth certificates should be sorted out at admissions. So speak to your enrollment secretary to get them to send in an unabridged certificate.
Yeah, and on the admissions training, I can just mention, I think there was 5 schools that's interested in the admissions training. So we're just waiting for a few more schools to show interest because we don't want to create an entire training session and documentation and there's no real interest. So again, if you want your admissions department to take part in training where we explain to them the collection process and the importance of the data, let me know, because if we have enough numbers, we can you know draw up a small course and training material and we can finalize that.
Okay, perfect. That's all so far. Is there any other questions? Everyone good?
I think this was a very nice session and I'm looking forward to next week. I'm also looking forward to your system hacks. So yes, Karen. Okay, ek gaan 'n nota maak daar. But yeah, let me know please about the admissions. We can get enough people then because it's going to be myself and Indria. Thank you everyone. It was a very nice session. Thanks. Mariska en Lelani en Abel, sal julle net agterbly?